Have you ever thought about the importance of loving what you do? That passion, that purpose? Well, today we're going to talk about the magic of bite sized creations. More than just food, it's all about the minis right here on Girl Talk.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Girl Talk, where every voice matters and every story inspires. Today, we have a great segment. Today, we are talking all things bite size, big flavored, and business savvy. And I have the one and only, my dear friend, celebrity chef, Miss Chef Kitura. Welcome to
Woo,
Girl
woo, woo,
Talk,
woo,
girl.
woo. What's up? What's greetings, greetings,
Hey,
greetings.
girl. Hey, how you doing? How are you?
I am absolutely amazing. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to have you on here. I just could not wait to have you. Oh my gosh, you are
Oh,
just
but thank
a beam of
you. Thank you.
energy and
I,
flavor
I when,
just like your food.
oh, aw. When I got the invitation, I was like, yes, yes, yes. I'm there. I'm there. I'm there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, girl. So you know how we do. Before we get started, tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah.
It is me, the one and only Chef Kitura, here with All About the Minis. I am a celebrity chef in the Metro Atlanta area. My business is all about the minis, where we specialize in tapas style delights to tantalize your taste buds. Um, for for me, I got into the culinary industry, as I say, grandma's hands. My love for cooking comes from my grandmother, and one of the it's not even a joke because it was reality. Life threw me a lemon. I was working
Mm-hmm.
in corporate America as an executive assistant, and lost my employment due to a merger, and then got another, started working in corporate again, and um, COVID hit, the big
Mm.
C, right? I won't
Yeah.
say big C because that's
Yeah, we
dangerous
remember
because,
that. Yeah.
so it was
Mhm.
like twice in a 5-year period that my employment was affected.
Mm.
And I just took it back to old school, took it back to the basics of where my love for cooking comes from. So it's like when life threw me a lemon, instead of making lemonade, I made lemon meringue pie, so to speak. I kind of shifted
Okay.
the whole thing, and I'm like, we're going to make this work. I know
Mm.
what I'm good at. I know what my grandmother taught me. So we're
Mhm.
gonna we're gonna utilize it. And I had already been in the industry part time.
Mhm.
My youngest son playing baseball,
Mhm.
and with travel ball, the expenses can kind of get up there. So I needed an additional source of income. So I've been doing it for almost 18 years,
Mhm.
when I ended up having to make that shift and make that pivot and start doing it full time. And as of April of this year, it will be five. Yay, five.
Okay, now.
Yeah, yay, five.
Congratulations to you on that. That is
Thank you.
amazing. You are
Thank
so
you.
amazing and so inspiring. I'm going to plug a little bit about you because I had the pleasure of meeting you a couple of years ago
Yes.
when I visited Villa Rica, Georgia. Friends of ours, both friends of ours,
Yeah.
have a farm out there, and I took a couple of my gladiators out there and had you come down and do a private dinner for us. You know, we had
Yes.
our own private chef couture
Private chef
experience, and it was the
experience.
most amazing thing. So I totally support you. Your food is absolutely delicious.
Thank
I
you.
mean, you gave us an exquisite experience, and it was just from the
Oh,
decor to the food to just your grace and your presence. I just appreciate you and so glad to have you on Girl Talk to just help you shine, and even more than what you are doing. You talking about making lemons from lemonade out of lemons, and not just that, but lemon meringue pie. You are just quite just a savvy chef there. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you
I
for
applaud you. I applaud you. I applaud
thank
you.
you.
So let's get down to some questions here.
Okay.
The first one I want to ask: how did you come up with the name All About the Minis, and what was that defining moment for you?
Um, okay. So as I shared with you, I had already been catering part-time, and I had a client, and I made two full pans of, I think they had 80 guests. So I had
Mhm.
two full pans of mac and cheese in addition to other food. And she indicated that they ran out of mac and cheese. And I'm thinking, there's no way with two full pans. And I'm not talking about the shallow, sometimes you get the shallow pans and it's like
Yeah.
what you would do your brownies or something in. These
Mhm.
are like the deep pans, what they call the steam pans. So I
Mhm.
had two full pans, and they said they ran out, and I thought to myself, absolutely not. So I'm like, we got to figure out how to do portion control. So I started
Okay.
preparing my mac and cheese in muffin pans. So I'm like, okay, this just might be something. And I have some friends of mine were like, well, you gotta you come up with the name. And at that time, I didn't know what the name was going to be.
Mhm.
So I'm like, well, I need to also add some other items to the mix. What else is,
Okay.
because if we're going to do this, we're going to do it big. There's nothing about me that's going to be small. We're going to do it
Yeah.
big. So I came up with my next line item, which was my salmon sliders. So I started working on this.
Mm.
Okay, so and people were giving me ideas, muffins, etc. Nothing but muffins, and I'm like, but I don't want people to think that it's like a pastry, because
Yeah.
it's not. It's your savory
Right.
tapas style. So I was like, I started going through books that I read, titles of books, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, nothing fits. So I started going my favorite movies, Meet Joe
Mhm.
Black, Color Purple, The Notebook. I'm like, So I'm like, okay, those are heavy type movie titles. Give me some
Uh-huh.
comedy. So I stared going through comedy, and I was like, all about the Benjamins. And I'm like,
Girl,
that's
you
it. All about the minis.
oh
So
my goodness.
that's how I came up with the name, because the All About the Benjamins movie.
I love that movie, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That is quite the journey of a story of how it all came together. There's nothing small about the minis I see. There's nothing. You do everything big in
Yeah.
bite-sized pieces. So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
amazing. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. I love that story. I love that story.
Thank
So
you.
that is beautiful. Your journey is proof of your passion. Your passion is just, it's all over you. And so you kind of knew that this was kind of meant to be. I mean, from your grandmother recipes down to you, this has been something that was already in you. It was just a matter of serendipity circumstances that brought you here to this
Yeah.
point. Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So how
Yeah.
do you feel about where you are right now?
It I feel amazing.
Mhm.
Um, we don't know what we have in us
Mhm.
until we are forced to take a step back and say, okay, this is happening, now what? And it's life is going to continue to happen, and it doesn't care about your situation, doesn't care about your circumstances. It's up
Mhm.
to you to make that choice. We all have choices in life,
That's right.
and it's how you choose to deal with those situations and those circumstances. um so funny story, I shared with you that I lost my employment
Yeah.
with that first company
Mhm.
due to a merger.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this no more. Because several friends had already been telling me, you need to start doing this full time on your own. Your food is great, food is
Yeah.
amazing. What are you doing? But I had that comfort, that security, so to
Uh-huh.
speak, of being a corporate. And when we realize here that
Mm-hmm.
corporate really isn't a security blanket,
Mm-hmm.
because at any time you can lose your employment. So I'm like, I'm not going back to corporate.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to collect unemployment, you have to do your weekly filing saying that you've actively seeking employment and all this
Yeah.
other stuff in order to get that check, that
Mm-hmm.
unemployment check. So I'm like, okay, okay, okay. So I got a call from a recruiter for the second job
Mm-hmm.
that I lost.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I literally laying on the couch watching TV, and she's asking me questions, and I'm like, yes, real nonchalant, real
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
nonchalant, just answering the questions just to be able to get it over with.
Right.
So she was like, well, I think you'd be great for the position. She started talking salary. Oh, I sat up and let me get myself together. Like she could see me, right? Like, let me focus. And
Uh-huh.
my energy changed and everything. And the company that I ended up working for was great. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's still supporting. I was supporting the COO, and I'm like, this is cool. Well,
Mm-hmm.
3 months after I got hired, they let him go. I'm
Wow.
like, whoa, Lord, okay, what you doing to me? But the
Yeah.
company was like, no, 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 we like you. We love your
Mm-hmm.
work. So I went from supporting the COO to the CFO, along
Mm-hmm.
with his direct reports. So I went from supporting one person to four people.
Oh,
And I'm like,
wow.
okay, I can do this. Clearly I can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm like, okay, we're doing this. We're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And bam, March 20, what was it? 2020 is like, yeah, no, this is not it. So no matter how much I was like, I'm not doing this, you know, stuff kept happening to bring me back into corporate.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
after that last one, I'm like, what's the song? God is trying to tell you something.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
say, look, I have something bigger for you. And it took those things to make me realize how resilient not
Mm.
just me, but anybody
Mm-hmm.
can be when your back is up against the wall. I'm raising my youngest son, and I'm like, girl, you got a mortgage, you got this kid. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, yeah,
What are
you
you
got
gonna
things to
do?
do.
So, and I ended up meeting some people that, how they talk about people being in your circle.
Yeah, yeah.
I have people in my circle, but it was those that were in my corner,
There you go, your corner. That's important.
those that were in my corner that were like, you got this. Um, I was talked into writing a book. That was my
Mm-hmm.
first book, Grandma's Hands.
Oh, wow.
And I let me tell you, we both know Dr. Will Moreland.
Mm-hmm.
He is the one who's like, he heard my story. He's like, that's a book. You need to write a
Mm-hmm.
book
Yeah,
about how
yeah.
you got started.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the opportunity to go with a friend of mine
Mm-hmm.
to Africa. We went to Tanzania, and on that flight is
Mm-hmm.
where Grandma's Hands was birthed. So a lot of people, you watch movies and stuff on
Yeah,
flights because it was a
yeah.
long flight,
Oh
long.
yeah, I know all about. I went to Ghana a couple of years ago, and that is, oh, you talk
Yes.
about a long flight. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that's where I started writing my first book.
Wow.
And it was like, wow, who knew? Who
Yeah.
knew all of this was
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
in me?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to get to your book because I really want people to know where to go get it
Sure,
and
sure.
to buy it and all that because it's a fabulous book and you are just doing some great things here. And you talk about corporate America, girl, you are speaking to me because I have a 9 to 5. Been there for almost 20 years now.
Hmm.
And it's like, but I have a passion. I have something that I know God has put in me to do in many things, not just one thing. It's a lot of things. Um, so I notice with me a lot of times when it starts to get uncomfortable, it's almost as if it's, pushing you out there, inching you out there to do. Okay,
Sure.
I know you got this 9 to 5, you got bills to pay and all that, but you still can't forget about this that I really want you to do.
Right, right,
You
right.
know, so it's that harmony and trying to balance it all every day with corporate America. And certain situations, like you said, would sort of force you or push you towards your passion.
For
And,
sure.
and it's actually a great thing. It can be a little uh, seem like it's a lot, or be, a little stressful
Uh-huh.
because all of the circumstances and the challenges that come with that. But at the same time, you cannot give up on your passion.
Right.
You cannot give up on your passion, and you did not give up on you because you knew you had something to do. And I
Yes.
love that about that. You talk about resilience and the comeback of Chef Kitura. I mean, you have quite the story and everything that's coming to fruition out of your obedience to know who you are and stand up for you.
Yeah.
So I like
Yeah.
that. You talking about
And
impact. I mean, you created such impact. So how do you bring creativity and storytelling to your minis, and what fuels your passion to these great unique gifts or dishes that you make? What fuels your passion to create such special
oh, it's
dishes?
I think about a scientist.
Okay.
Food is one. I will stand by it because of course that's me.
Yeah.
Um, Food for me is the number one love language. And
Mm,
I think food, sports, music, those are things that no matter what your race, your color,
yeah.
your gender,
Yeah.
when you have those elements in place,
Mhm.
nobody cares.
Mhm.
In what you because you're enjoying food, you're enjoying good music, you look go to a sporting event and you got all different nationalities there. So
Yeah,
food to me brings so many people together.
that's right.
When I go into the kitchen, I feel like I am a scientist and now I'm in the lab and I need to create something that
Mhm.
when my clients have an opportunity to taste it,
Mhm.
it's it's like, you know how some people when they eat, they,
Yeah.
they like, oh yeah,
They don't even have to say nothing. It's
you
all
don't
about the
know.
body
You
language
get
and the
that
facial
vibe, you get
expressions.
that energy, and you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this
Yeah.
is it, this is it. So that's what fuels me. I think about, and I had to stop doing limiting myself. I'm like, I know what I like. I know what I like. So
Yeah.
everything was centered around what tastes good to
Uh,
me.
uh-huh.
But I had to, step outside that box and realize that there's so much like behind. You can't see it, but in front of me, I've got a bookshelf and I've got different
Okay.
books and all of this other stuff. And it's like, yeah, I want to try this, and yeah, I want to do this. And now, um, to my left, your right,
Mhm.
I've got this big whiteboard, and this is how I work when I'm in my office, which is my second lab.
Yeah.
Because now this is how I have to operate. The back end of the business.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, hey, there are things on my bucket list, places I want to go to be able to taste different cultures and the food, so I can bring it back and blend it into what I do. I want
Yeah.
the minis to be elevated.
Uh-huh.
And, don't get me wrong, I love a good wing, I love some meatballs and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But when people hear about all about the minis and I say elevated tapas,
Mhm.
that's what I want them to see is something elevated,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, this was good. Who knew you can infuse this with that? Who knew you
Mhm.
could do
Mhm.
this and this?" So that's one of the things that I'm like, and I get like a little kid at a candy store. I'm like, "What do we got
You
now?
are
What do
truly
we got?"
living in your gift. I mean, my goodness, you are truly living in your. I just love it. I love your passion for what you do, and you call your space your lab, and you really put in the work, to make that happen. You talk about how people just, you can see their faces, how they're really enjoying the savoriness of the food that you're creating. So tell us, who were some of your biggest high profile clients, and what were their experiences with your minis?
Um,
If you can share that.
one of my clients, he's a former NFL player, Jason
Uh-huh.
Campbell. So I've prepared a couple of meals for. I got So, social media,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like you get overwhelmed, like, oh my God, social media, but it
Yeah.
helps. So there
Hmm.
is a group on Facebook. Um, Somebody heard about me through
Hmm.
a client that I had served.
Hmm.
It's like, when people say looking for recommendations.
Yeah.
So this lady heard about me. She was doing something for the Campbells. And so I went and did an experience for them. And
Hmm.
uh, Jason was like, pulled me to the side. He was like, hey, do you do private experiences? And I said, yes. So he wanted to do something special for his wife. So
Awesome.
I came back like 2 months later, and I've nurtured that relationship. I've got
Yeah.
some government officials here in the metro Atlanta area that
Hmm.
are my clients.
Hmm.
Georgia State men's basketball team.
Okay.
Georgia State men's basketball team is one of
Hmm.
my uh, larger clients.
Hmm.
I am a stakeholder at Rice, which is the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs. So
Okay.
we get all kind of people coming in there. Our former VP, Kamala
Hmm.
Harris, yes,
Okay.
she came to visit. I didn't get an opportunity to grace her with my food,
Uh-huh.
but Malik Yoba recently I was able to curate a meal for him while he was at the Russell Center. So I had the opportunity, and it's funny, especially we as women, we're like,
Yeah.
ooh, hey. So, New York undercover, Malik licked them lips, and you like,
Yeah.
ew.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
then,
gosh.
so yeah,
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to prepare meals for
Yeah.
some, and I got some clients that are business owners, you
Hmm.
know pretty decent
Yeah.
clients.
Yeah.
I know Jason was a good to share because
Yeah.
I always make sure before I divulge my
Yeah.
clients that I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
given the opportunity, do you mind? And they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Confidentiality is important to me.
That's exactly. Exactly.
It's important to
Exactly.
me. So, when I say city officials, I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't talk about that one,
I
but
know.
just know that they
Uh,
are there.
Oh, I know who you represent. That's and I know the privacy of it. That's why I said if you can share. But so thank you
Yes,
for
yes.
giving us that, because I know who you represent. And that is so awesome of you. Um, so do you incorporate any cultural and other influences in your mini creations, like any cultural creations to your food?
Um, so kind of yes.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like one of my dishes, what I absolutely love, um, is Asian inspired,
Okay.
like the Asian lettuce wraps, but
Ooh,
instead of your
yeah.
traditional,
I know
um,
you take it to a whole new level.
yeah. So I use bib lettuce
Yeah.
because for me, it's like a little cup, and
Mm-hmm.
you want it to be able to hold all of the goodness, and it's a little bit more will sustain and hold your ingredients a little bit better. So
Okay.
when I do like the Asian lettuce wrap with the
Mm-hmm.
teriyaki chicken, and then you drizzle it with some chopped peanuts, and then I top it with some microgreens, or I'll do like the spicy shrimp on
Okay.
the lettuce wrap. So Asian infused. And we can't forget the Caribbean
Well, come on now.
honey. Let me tell you, my oxtails.
Yeah.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
mm,
That's all you need right there.
mm. And it's look. So um I the Russell Center had a leadership meeting, and
Okay.
I prepared meals for them several days in a row.
Mm.
But one of the things is they like, we really want to go all out for this one.
Okay.
So I made lamb lollipops, and I did,
Ham lollipops.
yeah.
Okay.
That's another one that
Okay.
rock with me on that one.
Hey,
Rock,
we have
rock
to get
with me,
together again.
rock with me on that one. Um,
Absolutely.
but one of the ladies is was from the Caribbean, her
Mm-hmm.
heritage. And she came to me and she complimented me. She's like, you about to make the Caribbean and
Mm-hmm.
me come out. Um, so to have someone that's from the culture
Yeah.
give you a kudos, it,
Yeah.
that says a lot. And you now you really want to stick your chest out and go, I did it,
Yeah,
I did it,
absolutely.
I did it. But it's here again, like for me, when I go into the lab,
Mm-hmm.
I turn my music on. Gotta have
Mm-hmm.
music. I'm either listening to um my gospel music, uh,
Mm-hmm.
my Luther Vandross,
Mm-hmm.
New Edition. So
Okay.
I'm old school. I'm old
Okay.
school because
Okay.
I need to remove all thoughts out
Yeah.
of my head when I'm getting ready to cook. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I could have just come in the house from shopping and stuff,
Yeah.
and you gotta
Yeah. Get that
woosah.
focus. The
Gotta
channel
get
that.
your
Yeah.
focus. And
Exactly.
and and so that's what I do when I
Mm-hmm.
go into the lab.
Mm-hmm.
And my proteins. People talk to their plants. I
Oh
talk to
yeah.
my I talk to my food.
Okay.
I'm like, all
Okay.
right, like,
Girl.
look, let me tell you, thank, Thanksgiving, right?
Uh,
When
oh
I'm
my God,
doing
I can't imagine Thanksgiving with you.
when I'm doing the turkeys,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, get them all thawed out and wash them down and pat them. I'm like, all right, girl, it's showtime. You ready to show everybody what you got? All right,
Uh-huh.
cool. So I make a compound butter with all of my herbs and spices in the
Girl.
butter. And then I get up under the skin. And I do, I put my gloves on and I'm massaging up under the skin. And I'm like, all right, gonna give you your bath because we gotta let everybody see what you're working with. And I
Girl,
have
you making me hungry. I mean,
I like
oh
I like
gosh.
and that butter now,
Yeah.
a lot of people, especially if you're making a Cajun turkey or whatever, they inject
Mm-hmm.
it. And I do that as well with some of them.
Okay.
But if I just want your traditional herb,
Yeah.
and then and I'm getting ready to drop some nuggets. So if you're watching, get your piece of paper
Come on,
and
take notes, y'all. Y'all hear that?
take some notes, right? Right? Because you'll be able to watch this.
All right.
So get your butter, not margarine, not you need some butter, or you can get some,
Real butter.
yeah, or you can get some
Mhm.
ghee, which is clarified butter.
Okay.
Allow it to soften, and if it's if even if you gotta melt your butter,
Okay.
that's when you put all your herbs and spices into that. Allow
Okay.
it to start to form again because you don't want to pour it over there. You want it to where you can take it and massage it. You got to get up under the
Mhm.
skin.
Okay.
Now in the cavity, you're going to put I do citrus,
Mm-hmm.
lemon, oranges,
Mm-hmm.
limes, rosemary, thyme,
Mm.
onions. Take all of that stuff in the cavity.
Okay.
When you're
Girl.
finished, rub the last of that butter on top of the skin. That's gonna give it that golden brown look that you want.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Tuck her in the bed. for
Oh my
how many
God.
hours, tuck her in the bed for how many hours.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
the oven is great. Even if you have a convection oven, it's great. I have one of my favorite things to do for my family. I use a countertop
Mm-hmm.
oven,
Okay.
roaster oven.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm.
actually cooks faster because the heat is more
Oh, I
contained.
see. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
And the juices,
Mm-hmm.
the gravy that you make from that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
honey.
Yeah, we're gonna need a tutorial. Is this in your book? Speaking of your book, tell us. Okay, let's get back to the book.
Okay, okay.
Let's get back to the book. Is this in the book?
No,
Okay.
that
What's in the
but
book?
look, we gonna there's time that we gonna write more books.
Okay. Okay. Tell us about your book though, because I know you have tell us about Grandma's Hands, and then you have another. Okay, that's Grandma's Hands.
This is
There we
grandma's
go.
hand, Casey.
That's Grandma's Hands. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
grandma's hands, it says sharing stories and recipes of where my love for cooking all began.
Okay.
Um, and I think about being in my grandmother's kitchen. Um, and it was, hey, grab this out of the
Mhm.
refrigerator,
Mhm.
because on the weekends I wasn't there all the time.
Mhm.
In my house, I had siblings and my mom and dad, and
Mhm.
you know, they're out doing their thing. I
Mhm.
like to go over to my grandmother's. As
Mhm.
my grandfather used to say, they're going shopping, but mostly eating. Because on Saturdays, my grandmother we would go out shopping, and I was going to bound to get at least one or two
Mhm.
dresses.
Mhm.
But we would go to, there was this restaurant. I'm from Illinois.
Mhm.
There was this restaurant called Ponderosa.
Mhm.
And my grandmother used to like to go there. She loved salads. That's what
Mm.
I can make a mean salad for you. But she loved salads. And it was something about when she would make her salad, the croutons, when she would crunch on a crouton, who knew
Mhm.
croutons would have such an impact? I mean,
Mhm.
I'm 40 plus years in now,
Yeah.
and I'm like, the
Yeah.
sound of the crouton, I can still see her chewing it. And I'm like,
Wow.
God, that crouton looks amazing. Sounds great. So that's how
Yeah.
I started putting croutons and making salads and stuff. Um,
Oh,
but then,
wow.
when we finished, it was go back to the house and prepare Sunday dinner, because at my
Okay.
grandmother's, you couldn't cook. You couldn't
Okay.
iron. Nothing was done on
Mhm.
Sunday. No labor was done on Sunday.
Nothing. Okay.
And
Okay.
except for warming up the food, you're able to warm up the
Mhm.
food, but you couldn't do any
Mhm.
cooking. So that's when I got an opportunity to watch her cook
Mhm.
and do everything. So the book itself, um, it
That's
was
a special book.
it is. It
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
It was to
Mhm.
pay homage to my grandmother.
Okay.
And as I was writing it, I'm like, well, I learned some tricks from my mom too. You
Uh-huh.
know, she's no, slouch in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, we're gonna take it a step further. So
Mhm.
I reached out to so what I did is I inquired with, myself and
Mhm.
some of my cousins. I'm like, hey, what was some of your favorite dishes from grandma?
Uh-huh.
So, they gave me some of their favorites.
Mhm.
And then I reached out to my mom's grandchildren. And I'm like,
Okay.
what's your favorite things that your grandmother makes?
Mhm.
So I got those recipes. And yes, I too am a grandmother. My
Oh.
oldest, my oldest son that lives in Houston,
Uh-huh.
not Houston, Austin. Sorry,
Okay.
David. Sorry, David. No. So, um, you
So
know,
you just incorporated all of the family members
yeah. So
from
this
for
is this is
traditions down from grandmothers, huh?
this is a 3 generation recipe book.
Okay.
Um, and I did. I asked family, because I
Yeah.
wanted the family to feel like a part of this.
Right. Right.
Um, and then I'm like, I remember this, I remember that. Some stuff I'm like, I'm not quite sure she did. So I brought it back to me and what I
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so here's the funny part about the book. When you write books about recipes, you got to
Mm-hmm.
have pictures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
now this meant I had to go cook all of this stuff
Yes, you do.
so that I could have pictures to
Yeah.
put into the book.
Yeah.
But there is a volume 2 coming. I'm not sure when, but
Okay.
I think my favorite part about this book, the
Mhm.
cover,
Yeah.
this photo is actually my grandparents.
Wow. Yeah.
And this was from their 50th wedding anniversary.
Okay.
And, they got all jazzed up and
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah.
in the background, you see them getting into an old-fashioned car. So
Wow. That
this
is
was
quite the story in itself in the
yeah,
cover.
this was
You
special
know,
too. This was
that is
special.
it's yeah, it seems appears very, very special. Thank you for sharing that. So hold that thought. We're gonna get into the other book when we come back, but
Okay,
first we're gonna have a word from our sponsor.
excellent.
What if success wasn't just about what you achieve, but who you become? At our Win Global Enterprises, we empower visionaries, gladiators, and leaders to unlock their full potential. Because winning isn't just about reaching the finish line, it's about embracing the journey. The journey of self discovery begins with the right guide. Infinity, Eternity, and Serendipity is a transformative trilogy designed to awaken purpose, illuminate the path, and embrace the unexpected miracles of life. Your destiny is waiting. Are you ready to step into it? I Win Global Enterprises, where inspiration meets action and dreams become reality. I Win Global Enterprises. Live life inspired, lead boldly, win authentically. All right, y'all. Welcome back to Girl Talk. Chef Kitura has been quite uh just the gem of the talk show right now. I just love her to death. All of her stories, her passion that fuels everything that she does into what she cooks, the flavors that she brings. Um, I just love everything you do. You just such a bright light, and it just shows in you on what you're really passionate about. So earlier we was talking about Grandma's Hands, the book, the first book you wrote. Now, is
Yes,
there there's another book you have out now?
it's actually a journal.
A journal? Okay, tell us
It's a
about that.
journal.
What's that called?
It's called The Vault.
The Vault. Okay.
The Vault. So the Vault is a journal safeguarding your flavorful secrets.
Okay.
So this was birthed because I started thinking about um, two things.
Mhm.
This serves two purposes for me. You know, because when I was writing the book, I didn't have, my grandmother didn't write, to my knowledge, she didn't write any of her recipes down. If she
Mhm.
did, I didn't know where they were. So,
Mhm.
I had to go from memory
Okay.
with making the recipe book. So I'm like, I think about, you see in the movies where people go to the index card box and they
Mhm.
got the recipes in there and you got chocolate on the
Yeah.
end, you got flour and it's
Mhm.
smeared. You can't
I
read
think
what
I
the
have one
plate
of
is.
those.
So over time, it gets all worn and stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you should be able to have it in a keepsake type
Yeah.
of book. So I created
Yeah.
this journal. And then for me, I'm like, I want to start writing my recipes, having a place to keep, my recipes and stuff in. So I created this. It's a journal.
Mhm.
So in here, you will start to write
Oh,
down
wow.
how many servings this
Yeah.
particular recipe, how long it should cook, what's your prep time. Down at
Okay.
the bottom, you can indicate whether it's a vegan, vegetarian, dairy free, what type of recipe it is, if
Mhm.
it's sweet, if it's savory. And then you have a page for your directions, step
Yeah.
one, get out
Okay.
your pots and pans, however it is. But here's the awesome thing about this um, recipe journal. I took some of the guesswork out for people.
Okay.
There is a conversion chart
Okay, you
So
helping us out. You helping us out to
yeah,
cook. Okay.
absolutely. That's what I'm
Mhm.
here for.
That's what you're here
Um,
for.
so, you get an opportunity to see, now you don't have to say, well, how many cups are in a quart? How
Right.
many pints are in a
Right.
gallon? How many
Yeah.
teaspoons make, all that good stuff
Mhm. Mhm. It's
right
right
here,
there.
right
Right
here.
there.
Then I'm like, people want to know. I got all, if you're a junkie like me, like
Mhm.
when I go to the farmer's market and I start
Mhm.
looking at spices, I
Mhm.
really need a chaperone. Somebody
Okay.
needs to pull me out of there because I'm like, oh, I wonder what this tastes like. Ooh,
Are
so
we getting ready to do a show and tell on some spices?
yeah, so you got
Okay.
spices,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
you got spices to say like it has a profile,
Okay.
like cinnamon, warm, sweet, with a hint of woodiness. It's a versatile spice used in both sweet and savory dishes, perfect for baked goods, curries, and beverages. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things you do with cinnamon.
Okay.
You've got cilantro, bright citrus with a hint of spice, essential in Mexican, Indian, and Thai cuisines, perfect for salsas, curries, and garnishes. So I got um, probably about 20 different herbs and spices and what
Okay.
their flavor profiles and what you can use them in.
Okay.
For our wine connoisseurs,
Okay. I'm a
yes,
wine connoisseur. That's me.
yes, I
Come
thought
on.
about that too. So now we've got
You got it all in there.
a wine pairing.
Okay.
So, in it down at the bottom, it will tell you what's good with your red meats, what's good with your seafoods.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna tell you one more secret because I can't tell everything because you got to get
Oh, we love secrets.
you gotta get
Come on with the girl talk secrets. Let's go. Let's do it.
So, out in the back there is yeah, let's see, culinary. It's a culinary glossary. So
Okay.
if you hear somebody say ganache, it's like what what is that?
Mhm.
What is a ganache? So
Mhm.
I'm letting people know. A
Mhm.
ganache is a mixture of chocolate and cream used as a filling or frosting for cakes and pastries.
Mhm.
Um, gastrique,
Okay.
a sweet and sour sauce made from caramelized sugar, vinegar, and sometimes fruit used in
Mhm.
French cuisine. So I got some
Yeah.
culinary glossary words for you. It's some other nuggets
Okay.
in this book,
Okay. I
but
love the vault. Okay, the vault.
the
All
vault is
right.
yeah. So this is and with this, I'm working on another project that
Okay.
is I can't wait until I finish.
We're gonna have to have you
I
back.
might tell
We're gonna have
you.
to back. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you offline. I'll tell you offline.
Tell me offline and we're gonna have you back on Girl Talk to talk about it,
Yeah,
all right?
when it's ready to go, I have to come back because
Yeah, you have to come back. Absolutely.
this is
Absolutely.
gonna
As
be
soon as it
super.
come out, you're gonna come back. All right.
Yes,
All right.
yes,
And
yes,
didn't you
yes.
come up with your own spices?
Yes. So the name of the season line is called Love My Everything.
Okay. Okay.
And I came up with that name because that was me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, becoming an entrepreneur, it is an emotional roller coaster ride.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to really embrace and love yourself through
Okay.
this because it's that self love that's going to
Mm.
get you through those rough days to where
Mm-hmm.
you're like, yeah, I don't have any more fight in me.
Yeah.
Um, you got down on your knees and prayed, and you like, all right. So, love my everything was
Mm.
all of my personalities that
Mm-hmm.
um, I won't even say experienced, but I realized, oh yeah, you all of those, and then some probably. So,
Okay.
um,
And you put in the spice? Okay.
yeah,
Let's
so
go.
it's called Love My Everything, but the
Okay.
first two that I have are Bougie and
Okay.
feisty. So there will be a total of 5.
Okay. Okay.
So right now I have Bougie and feisty, and I have the other names
Uh-huh.
already ready to go, but I'm gonna keep
Okay.
those until they are
Okay.
launched.
Awesome.
So Bougie is it's a class act.
Okay.
It's kind of like your all-purpose. It's
Mm-hmm.
got some citrus tones to it.
Okay.
Um, lime, like I said, the citrus that I use for my poultry when I'm doing my turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So lemon, lime, rosemary, thyme, bars,
Got some good stuff. Okay.
and
Bougie, huh?
other spices. Turmeric.
Uh-huh.
I love using turmeric because of its health purposes,
Yeah.
the anti-inflammatory and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's the bougie.
All right. Hold that
So,
up again. Let me see what they look like. Let's see. Bougie. All right. Y'all got
bougie.
that?
So
Okay.
I just recently changed my packaging.
Okay.
I had it in glass jars,
Mm-hmm.
and when it came to shipping, because do have people across
Mm-hmm.
the country that order, um, it just got to be expensive.
Yeah.
And then I started finding out, well, people, you watch these uh, things on Instagram, TikTok, and now
Mm-hmm.
people are getting their own bottles and they're just
Yeah.
transferring it and they have it all nice and neat. And I'm like, okay, we're going to be good to the environment. We're not, and we're going to help people out in their pockets.
Yeah.
So now I start doing it in these pouches. You get the same amount of ingredients, but now it comes in this pouch and
Uh-huh.
you can keep it in the pouch and do like you do your taco seasonings and stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
just put them in the
Mm-hmm.
drawer. You put this in the drawer, or you can transfer it to your own bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was bougie, and now
Okay.
we got feisty.
Feisty.
Now feisty is a little smoky heat.
Okay.
That's that's that personality in me when you kind of just look at people and like when you're a kid and your
Yeah.
parents gave
Yeah.
you that look and you
Uh-huh.
knew you better start acting right in that store, as you gonna get it.
Ah,
That's
so a little bit of feisty in there.
that's
Okay.
spicy.
Okay.
Spicy. So
Okay.
it's a smoky heat. I've got smoked paprika, cayenne pepper.
Awesome.
There's a little bit of uh, cocoa.
Uh-huh.
So like a coffee cocoa type of
Okay.
thing. So you can use it for your beef, pork. You can use it on anything
Uh-huh.
actually.
Uh-huh.
But when I'm doing mm, those beef short ribs or them
Yeah.
oxtails,
Yeah. Put a little feisty in it.
put a little feisty in it.
Put a little feisty in it.
Put a
Oh
little
my
feisty
God.
in the mix. So
Girl, you are amazing in everything you do, and you have fun with everything you do.
yeah, yeah,
This, this has
yeah.
been quite the journey for you, and I'm just so grateful to just have you on here. So thank you for coming on here. I want to have the listeners to know where to get your products. So first, how can they tell us how they can reach you and how they can get to you to order your stuff?
Sure. So my products are on my website, and
Hmm.
that is www dot allabouttheminis.com, and that's ALLABOUTTHEMINIS.com. And you can go to the products page and you can find those 3 items there. If they're interested in following me on social media,
Hmm.
my Instagram accounts, I have 2. It's at Chef Kitura, and that's CHEFKITURA. And then all about the minis underscore. Same applies for Facebook. Actually, on Facebook, it's Kitura Smith. And then on um, Facebook for All About the Minis, it's just All About the Minis. There's no underscore. I am also on LinkedIn
Hmm.
at Chef Couture. There's a TikTok page, but don't answer with it. Girl, I get on there and I'm like, Oh, I forgot this was here.
Oh my
It's
God.
a lot trying to be
All over the place. I
the
know it.
the
I
chef,
know it.
the videographer, the
Yeah.
finance manager, the
Yes.
curator. Yeah.
You do it all.
Yes.
You
Yes.
definitely do it all. Girl, this has been phenomenal. I mean, there's just the chef's kiss to you. Thank you for
Ah,
your passion and your heart,
thank you.
your love for what you do. I so adore you having you on here on Girl Talk.
Oh,
You
it's such
are
a pleasure.
such my good friend, and just thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have really graced this podcast with your presence. So
Thank you. Thank you. I
yeah,
appreciate
thank
you. I
you.
thank you for being the amazing, phenomenal woman that you are and
Oh,
giving us a space to be unapologetically who we are
absolutely,
in our in our
absolutely.
in our purpose,
Yes, yeah.
with our passion. So to you, I say thank you, Queen Gladiator.
Thank you, my gladiator girl. You are. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Is I love knowing who you are and getting to know you a little bit deeper through what you do. You
Yes.
know, and
Yes.
I'm so glad to have you here so everybody else can experience the Miss Beautiful Chef Couture.
Thank you. And
So
check
you
me.
guys heard it right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I got some other things coming down
Mhm.
the pipeline. Speaking,
Okay.
we'll
Okay.
talk about that.
Oh, we definitely gonna have you back. You definitely coming back. You got some stuff
Yes,
that's coming out that's not even out yet. So definitely gonna have her back. You guys be sure to stay tuned in to Girl Talk to have her back here. Um, and go to her website, go to her social medias. Be sure to follow her in everything that she does, and go grab those products and bougie and put a little what was it, bougie,
bougie.
bougie, and get a little feisty with
Get a
it.
little feisty
Let's get a
because
little
we
feisty
like
with
to
it.
be a little bougie sometimes.
Come on now, come on now. So thank you again for coming, Chef Couture. Just love you to death. Thank
Thank
you
you.
all for tuning in as well. If you like this episode of Girl Talk, please be sure to go to our channel and like and subscribe, and please comment and leave us some information there, and we'll be sure to get back to you. And you can also reach us at on our social media side at Girl Talk on Facebook. That is quote unquote Girl Talk on Facebook. And we are now on Instagram as well. So you can follow us on Instagram at Girl Talk on Instagram. I'm sorry, Girl Talk on IG. All right, Girl Talk on IG. That's our handle. Okay, so follow us on that platform as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome back. Come on back through and spend some time here on Girl Talk, where every voice matters and every story inspires. Are you ready to share your story, insights, and wisdom with an audience eager for inspiration and would like to be a guest on Girl Talk? Simply email us at info@iwinglobalinc.com to inquire and book your spot. Be sure to use the hashtag GirlTalkGuest. Talk with you soon.